Lesson for the Sun. Long, long ago, when Puri was the capital of Kalinga, there lived in the city a prosperous merchant named Veerbhadra. He had lost his wife quite early in life. However, he had a son named Subahu, his only child. Veerbhadra was not only an honest and intelligent trader, but also a wise man. All the merchants of the city respected him and considered him their doyen. Those were the days when the merchants of Kalinga launched voyages to distant lands for commerce. Veerbhadra too had to go out once every 2 years. During his absence from home, his young son fell into evil company. At first, Veerbhadra did not know about his son's fall. When he came to know about it, it had been too late. Subahu had taken to gambling and other vices that went with it. His companions exploited him through flattery. He was too naive to understand their trick. When Veerbhadra was absent, the key for his treasury remained with Subahu. Upon his return, he would see his cash considerably reduced. From his servants and his neighbors, he got an account of his son's conduct in the company of the other youths. Veerbhadra was worried. He called his son to his side and asked him to beware of his company. Father, my friends are just wonderful. They will do anything for me, replied Subahu. Veerbhadra tried in various ways to get his son rid of his bad habits but failed. Subahu would promise that he would stop indulging in gambling and all that, but he would go on doing as of old, hiding from his father. One day, Veerbhadra told his Subahu, my son, I am going out to the island of Java. This time I'm taking a big chance. I'm making an investment of all my resources. I'm also borrowing a lot of money from my friends. That is all right. But you must leave sufficient money at home for me to spend during your absence, pleaded Subahu. I can't. However, whatever money you need will be provided to you by my merchant friends on loan. You can approach any one of them. None would refuse to oblige you, said Veerbhadra. Subahu knew too well that what his father said was true. As soon as Veerbhadra left home, he went to the merchant who lived nearest and borrowed 500 rupees. He, he spent it in the company of his friends in no time. His friends made his house their camp and Subahu entertained them lavishly. A week later, Subahu approached another merchant and borrowed another 500 from him. This too was spent before long. He was thinking from whom to borrow next when two mariners came running to him and told him that his father's ship had been wrecked and all but the two of them had been drowned. What about my father? Cried Subahu. The mariners kept quiet and wiped their eyes. What about all the merchandise into which had gone all our money? He asked again. All is gone, replied the mariners with heavy sighs. Subahu broke down. Soon his friends came, but when they heard of his misfortune, after uttering a few words in the way of consoling him, they slipped away. What about the loans we gave you? Now that Veerbhadra is not likely to return, you must arrange to pay back our money, said the two merchants. If I had money to pay you, why should I borrow from you? Muttered Subahu. The two diamond rings you are wearing ought to fetch us 500 rupees each, said the merchants, and they obliged Subahu to surrender the rings to them. Soon a host of merchants met Subahu. After some hastily uttered words of sympathy, they brought out documents which showed that Veerbhadra had borrowed from them heavily. They demanded parts of Veerbhadra's landed property against the loans. There was no other way open to Subahu than to agree to their demands. His style of living changed overnight as his servants left him. When they realized that he was unable to maintain them, Subahu had to pledge his household utensils to moneylenders and receive small sums for buying his own food. A merchant from the neighborhood proposed to appoint him as his clerk. Subahu could have his food in his employer's house and receive a small salary too. Subahu agreed to the proposal. The merchant made him work hard, but Subahu learned the principles of business well. He was now poor and humble. At night, he lamented his conduct towards his father and shed tears. A year passed. The day on which Veerbhadra had left home a year ago returned. In the morning, Subahu was surprised to see the leading merchants of the city gathered in his house. The servants were busy cleaning and decorating his house. He could not understand the reason behind such activities. It is to commemorate your father's voyage, Sonny, said an old merchant. What is there to commemorate it? My father went out on an inauspicious day, never to be back, cried out Subahu. But I am back, said an old familiar voice. Subahu looked back. Was he dreaming? He wiped his eyes and looked again. It was indeed Veerbhadra. Thank God, you're alive, father, Subahu uttered with difficulty, trembling with excitement. Thank God, you are a changed man, my son, said his father as he embraced Subahu. Tears rolling down his cheeks, Subahu said, pardon me, my waywardness, father. I will never be the same again. I am so happy that you are alive. I don't care if the ship and the wealth are gone. Nothing is gone, my son. Myself and my friends just enacted a bit of drama for your good. That is all. Confessed